out, y'all. I missed 8 years of my son's life.
I posted a video on Saturday of a sister who was sharing a story of how her baby daddy kidnapped her son for 8 years and she could not see her son for 8 years, and how she's trying to get the son back. In that part one, which this is the part two now, in that part one, she was talking about the dynamic of the relationship, how she was being abused and how she's trying to get her son back. If you haven't seen part one, go check out part one because we'll give you full context of what we're talking about here today. And also in that part one, she was showing us some screenshots of some of the messages our baby daddy was sending to her, but we could not read it at that time because it was an inverted version showing on the screen. So now I'll be able to flip it, so we're going to read it so we get full context of where the baby daddy's head is at, because now this story is coming from her, some of the things he was saying to her, and probably it will help us to understand his own head space and make our own conclusion. Anyway, guys, so that's what we're doing here today. Okay, hey guys, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here, and welcome back to my channel. How you all doing? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. So like I said, this is the part 2 video of the video I posted on Saturday. And before I go on, I just want to say I'm sorry that I couldn't post the part 2 immediately, that I was having some technical difficulty and all that too. But now I think we're sorting it out now already. So I'm going to read the screenshot of some of the messages he sent to her after they did the first meeting in the part 1. So go check out the part 1 if you have not, okay? And after reading some of the screenshots, then we're going to get into the actual video of her telling us more of the story and how she was able to get her son back and what happened after that. Because it was, you guys, you need to watch the story to them because it was crazy. So these are some of the messages the baby daddy sent to her. He said, you want to start a company, I will invest all the upfront costs, take percentage, we got kids, we got to win and help each other. I'm saying, and keep it real on this once and one time, only you either on board or not, but I will be open. Lying down with you brought back a flash of memories. The boats, the bathroom, the watch house, the hood, the tent, the streets, the fights, the hustle and pimping, robbing and jail. Okay, interesting dynamic going on there. Picking flowers, military moving, and working hard to get you. You were the reason I turned my life around. You never judged me. You rode with me to the fullest, and I messed that up. You could never understand why, because you are not a man. But I just had a lot on my plate at once, and I was overloaded trying to figure out what to do for us, and didn't know how the communication. When we was you going, I think where we were going, I think that's what I want to say. My heart drops when you got on the plane, because I realized when I was holding you and putting you to sleep that I felt complete. A piece of me was missing and I didn't even know it. That piece was you, and the feeling of being complete that you bring to me, words can't describe. Also, once you feel complete, you don't even want to feel incomplete again. Your smile light up my darkest days. You're really a dream come true, a dream that turned into a nightmare when I lost you. I want to turn it back to a dream come true. To be real, I love you always. We both will always love each other. We created a bond at a young age, and that can't be recreated. But yeah, the thing, I got goals and ambition and dreams, things I got to do. I'm willing to include you in it as long as there's no BS from you and you know how to listen and be a team player. It's not always about you. We've got to have a set goals, make plans, knock them out. The child play is done. I will be everything for you and you will be the same for me. No games. It will be the world against us. And what we build as we play this game of life on multiple players. Beat the game, become a boss. My only concern is you having another baby daddy, which IDC, I don't know the meaning of that. What's the meaning of IDC? I don't know what that is. About, just don't want that to turn to be a trust issue down the road. But it shouldn't be. Our communication needs to be on point. If that's not good for you, we can just leave it about the kids, and I will do what I can and more for both of my little ones. I'm sure Tidy is mine, and if the DNA test says other, I will be upset, but not really, because I'm still taking him in as mine. The boy definitely loves me, and it's a great kid. So those are some of the messages the baby daddy was sending to this woman during the time they met the first time in 8 years after he took their first child away from her. And let me know down what you think, and generally about the messages, what are your thoughts? For me, I saw a lot of red flags of a man that wants the old long suffering, ride or die, be with me no matter the end, through thick and thin. And for me personally, those are red flags. Any man that is ready to put you in a situation just because he needs you to prove your love to him, to be a ride or die and all that, like, no. Talking about how you have to, like, if she's ready to listen and be a team player. That's a man that wants to control you. That's a man that's insecure. That's a man that needs to do work on himself rather than try to get back with her. Anyway, guys, there's more to this story, so let's go check out the sister, tell more of her story, and then we'll come back and talk more. Before we get into this video, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Please, please, please. So with that all said, guys, let's go check it out.
All right, y'all, so this is part 4. The kids are actually in the backyard playing, so I do have a little time by myself to hurry up and get this story out to you guys. Well, at least part 4. Like I said, I'm trying to squeeze 8 years worth of nonsense, but we're almost done. I'm never ever gonna tell a story that only makes me look good. I'm obviously gonna always tell my faults in the story, like I have been. So yeah. So after the DNA test results come out, his dad, which is Tyrone's dad, which is the grandfather, has his forever girlfriend reach out to me and basically say they want to be involved in Titan's life. Tyrone has been ignoring me and fell off the face of the earth and isn't letting me talk to my son anymore. But when she reaches out, she basically says Tyrone is agreeing to give them baby TY, which is our oldest son, and if they can take Titan for the school year and allow them to be brothers. So I agree. You know, at this point, like, I'm plotting, like, okay, yeah, I know where my son is at. You know, we could do this. You know, I end up lying to them and telling them that I have full custody of Titan just in case they try to do anything sneaky, like, y'all finna go to jail. So they come out to where I was staying at in Vegas with my homegirl, and they're talking mad crap about Tyrone. Yeah, when we got him, he didn't know anything. Like, he wasn't smart. Like, they're talking so bad. Like, yeah, he was a terrible father and da-da-da-da-da. So I'm, like, side-eyeing them, but I'm still like, okay, whatever. And they're like, yeah, so we'll be out here in the next week or two to pick up Titan, and we'll take him out there and they can be brothers, and then you can communicate with us and speak to your son. I'm like, okay, so I agree to it. They give me their address. I'm like, okay. So they come, they pick him up. I send an email basically giving her temporary custody, so that way, you know, she can sign him up for school, etc., because I'm not going to that state with them. So my youngest son gets there first, Titan. He gets there first, and then baby TY comes after. Well, when baby TY gets there, they end up calling me saying that he sent my son there with nothing. Like, the clothes are, like, ripped up, baggy, like, he can't fit them, shoes are bad. So I go on almost $1,000 shopping spree, send my son all brand new Nikes, the both of them. I never got one thing without the other. A whole new wardrobe of clothes, motorcycles. Like, I went all out, y'all. I missed 8 years of my son's life. I went all out. New game system, hoverboards. Like, I'm not trying to say I'm trying to buy his love, but he's 8 now, you know? Like, he's 8. Let me do everything for him. So he's out there and I'm able to talk to them, but I'm noticing that every single time I'm talking to my sons, the grandparents are standing right behind them. Like, there was never a moment where they were able to talk to me by themselves. So the school year is ending, and now I'm about to drive down there to get what I thought I was getting, the boys. I've been reaching out to Tyrone online, asking him, like, hey, what if I let you get both the boys first and then I get both the boys next, just so you can trust that I'm not on anything funny, because I'm really trying here. Like, I will let you get them first and then we can swap. Or you get them for the school year and I get them for summer. He keeps saying, I'll think about it, I'll think about it, I'll think about it. This is months before actual summer gets there. So summer's here and now it's time for me to pick them up. I'm like, Tyrone is not answering me at all. So I'm reaching out to the grandparents like, hey, like, can I get them? Like, they wouldn't even allow me to come down there for my youngest son's birthday. He wanted to go to Legoland. They were like, well, if you come down here, of course you can take Titan, but you can't take baby TY to Legoland for his birthday. I said, well, can you guys come? Because my son really wants to go to Legoland. They're like, no, we can't go. I'm like, wow. It's like, it was just a mess. So anyway, summer's there. So I drive down there with my fiance at the time. So we get there and they're like, we're trying to get a hold of him. He's not answering, so it doesn't look like you can take Tyler. Well, baby TY. They're like, it doesn't look like you can take baby TY. His real name is Tyler the Third. I just gave you guys some information without giving you information. My son's name is Tyler the Third, the one Tyrone kidnapped, legally kidnapped. So they're playing. So right at this point, I'm looking at my fiance at the time, and I'm just like, there's no way I'm going to be able to walk up to that front door and take my youngest son back in front of the other one. I'm not doing that. It's no way I'm doing that. So I went to the CPS office first to see what they can do. It wasn't anything that they could do. I went to the police station. It ended up being in the wrong district or whatever, so then I had to go to the correct one. And they pretty much tell me a plan, like, we can help you, but this is what you have to do. So I'm like, okay. So they pretty much told me that I have to go to the house. I have to make sure that Tyrone is not there. I have to have proof of the birth certificate that I am the mother, and they have to be able to identify me as the mother, and I have to have room in my car for them. I said, okay. So we pull up to the house, and I call the police and tell the police that I'm here. The police pull up. They go into the house and they retrieve both the boys and they bring them out to me, and they're yelling, his family, they're yelling. They're like, no, 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 you're not taking them. No, no. The police asked my son, my oldest one, baby TY, like, do you want to go with your mom? And he's like, yes, I want to go with my mom. So the police give me my baby. Sorry. The police give me my baby, and I just was like, so they make sure that the car is big enough for all of them to be in the car. I made sure that I got a car big enough for all of them. That was my plan. I had his dogs in the back. My son asked me for a dog. I went and I got it. I went and I got the dogs for him. I'm so sorry. I went and I got the dogs for him, and then the police told us that we can leave. The police left, we left. Next thing I know, we get to like the third light, and the grandparents and his family, and I guess their roommate, is chasing us in a car. But I had told my fiance at the time, I said, we're being followed. He's like, no, we're not. No, we're not. I said, yes, we're being followed. I said, watch, turn this corner. So he turns the corner. The cars follow. Next thing you know, we're cut off in the front. So my fiance at the time is trying to back out. My sons in the back are yelling like they have. So he's speeding backwards. We end up crashing into this lady who had nothing to do with anything. Everybody, my fiance at the time, he gets out the car. All the guys get out the car. I had to go calm down, y'all. I'm going to get back with part 5 so y'all can know how all that ended. Having my dinner in the car. I do not like talking about this stuff around the kids. Anyways, I noticed that we're being followed. So I'm telling him, my fiance at the time, we're being followed. He's like, no, we're not. I'm like, turn here. He turns. Both the cars are still following us. I'm like, make another turn. Basically, we about to go in a square. Hold on. Yeah, so basically my intentions are to go in a square. So I'm like, turn. Car follows. I'm like, make another turn. The car follows. Now, when we make that turn, that's when we notice that they notice that we know we're being followed. So they get on the phone. So we go boom, boom. And right when we're making that last boom, we get cut off. So we got a car on the side of us now because he done pulled up. We're blocked off right here. So we have no choice but to go backwards. So he starts flying backwards because my sons are in the back yelling that their grandfather had. So we're flying backwards, crash into this innocent lady that didn't have anything to do with anything. I'm on the phone with the police. I'm hysterical, clearly. So I'm like, oh my God, like, telling them everything that's going on, telling them where we're at. So my fiance at the time, he's so angry. He don't care that they got guns. He just getting out the car ready to fight them. So he get out, they get out. He's sitting there like, what's up? Like, this my family now. Like, what's up? What's up? Like, he's really saying that to them. They got their hands in they pants, you know, when you got it. So they got their hands like that. And he like, I don't care about that. I'm like, stop. Like, the police are on the way. Let me just put that out there. They're all from the streets. So when the police arrive, I'm ready to tell it all. They sitting there acting like none of this just happened. They tell me, yeah, we don't know, like, you know, they got in a little car accident. They looking at me like, ma'am, what happened? I'm like, I'm from the streets. I start telling them what happened. Like, what the? Excuse me? No, you didn't. What? I'm not from the streets. Ain't no street code. This is what happened. So basically, it's like three people's words versus mine. We crashed into that lady, so of course we got the ticket. But everything else was under investigation. I done told them, you need to pull the security footage from the Walgreens right there and from that gas station right there. If you're from San Diego, the situation happened on Massachusetts and that road that the Lemon is on. Right there by the Walgreens and that gas station that's right there. That's where the situation happened at. So I'm telling the officers, like, yeah, y'all need to pull that footage because I don't know what they're talking about. He's like, okay, it'll be under investigation, but for now, you know, you guys are the ones getting a ticket. For one, we didn't have insurance and we crashed into the lady. So yeah, we got a ticket for being in a wreck without insurance. That's what the ticket was for. So anyways, everybody leaves. We drive off. Now the grandfather is pulling up again. So my fiance at the time rolled down the window and I'm yelling like, get away from us. Like, get away. He's like, just let me talk to you. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Just let me talk to you. I said, no, I'm done talking to y'all. I'm done talking to y'all. I said, it's funny how when I've been begging this entire time for y'all to get a hold of Tyler, y'all couldn't get a hold of him. Now all of a sudden y'all able to get a hold of him because he blowing up my inbox. Like, get out of here. Y'all fake. Man, I don't have time. We pull up to my fiance at the time, his mom's house, which is in LA. So we drive from San Diego to LA and we go spend a night over there. His auntie Teresa, remember I told y'all about her? She ends up calling my phone and she's like, you're wrong, Jasmine, you're wrong. I'm like, how the hell am I wrong? She's like, my brother, talking about the grandfather, my brother opened up his home to your sons and been allowing you to talk to your son, and this is how you treat them. I said, listen to what you're saying. Allowing me to speak to my son, a son that I gave birth to, a son that I carried. I'm supposed to be grateful that you guys are allowing me to do that. I said, take out of the equation that you're related to Tyrone at the moment. And think about it as if you were me and all of this was happening to you. After everything you've been through, after everybody knows about all that he did, and everybody knows that he was cheating on me and now he kidnapped my son. If you were me, how would you react? She hung up in my face. Exactly. We get to my fiance's mom's house, and I notice when I'm pulling out the suitcase that my son brought out, my youngest son brought out, they only came with one suitcase in a plastic bag. So when I pull it out and I'm going through it, it's like 5 outfits of the clothes that I originally sent him there for the beginning of the school year. So you know he can't fit them no more. But like I said, I didn't send them a whole new wardrobe, $1,000 a piece. I sent them a whole new wardrobe. They sent them back with absolutely nothing that I gave to them. Nothing. Not the game system, not the motorcycles, not the hoverboards, not any clothing, underwear, socks. They sent them with nothing. People that I have on my Facebook have been following this story for the last 8 years at this time. So they've been cheering me on. Once I got the boys back, I posted it. When the police arrived, I posted it. So everybody was cheering me on. Well, once I noticed that, I break down crying because I just spent my last coming out here. I don't have it. So I reached out to all of them, and everybody pitches in and helps me get my babies clothing and shoes that they didn't have. And I was so appreciative of that. So when we make it back to the house, my youngest son wakes up in the middle of the night screaming and crying. So I run in there to see what's going on. And that's when he opens up about all the that he had been facing in that house at the hands of his grandparents. Yeah. I'll start getting more into that at the next part. All right, so after my son pretty much tells me about everything that he had went through, this is at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And I have a witness. While they over there trying to claim that I was coercing my kids, why the f would I ever make my children say that they were abused? What sick mother, never mind. I'm not going to say what sick mother would do that, but I don't want to hear that. I don't like feeling helpless when it comes to my children. So I immediately call CPS. So I reach out to CPS because I'm like, okay, you know what? No matter what happens, let me make sure that y'all never go back there. So I wait for baby TY to wake up so I can ask him too. So while me and my fiance at the time are talking to Titan, I'm like, you know what? All the times I talked to you on the phone, like, why didn't you say anything? I would have came to get you. And then I started to feel bad because I felt like I was blaming him. So I took it back and I just hugged him and I apologized. And he was like, I was scared. I never had a moment to tell you. And that's when I thought back. Every time they called me, the grandfather was standing directly behind them, like hovering over them. Every phone call. They were out there for almost a year. Sick bastards. Anyways, so I get a hold of CPS and they pretty much say California. I'm in Texas. So they say California CPS has to handle it because that's where it was. That's where it happened at. So I call California CPS and I make the report. When baby TY finally wakes up, I start talking to him and he confirms the story. So he confirms the same story that Titan is telling, except he starts adding in that he was being bullied by his uncles, which are his grandfather's kids. So he's like, yeah, everything that you would send me, they would break it. They wouldn't let us get a turn on the game systems. Like, they're just telling me a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm reporting this. When I take them up to the courts in Texas and I'm explaining the story, they're like, we can't do anything because they're not residences of Texas yet. You guys have to be here for 6 months. So I was in the process of buying a home while they were out there. So when they came back, we were continuing the home buying process. Well, because the grandparents had the address to the home that we were going to move to, I explained that to the realtor. But thankfully, I'm telling y'all, God really be working on my side. So I had put in $5,000 of earnest money already. So after explaining the story, you know, my realtor was pretty much like, the seller is not going to, you know, care because, you know, you already put the earnest money down. They already stopped taking applicants. Like, the home is under contract. You guys are about to close. And I'm going to post those screenshots from my email as well, because I still have all of them. Thank God that the realtor ended up getting back to me and saying that the home couldn't be insured. I'm not going to say why the house couldn't be insured, because it really doesn't, it's irrelevant to this story. So we didn't end up getting that home. So we start to notice that there is a white F-150 truck parked outside of our door of our current residence randomly. And he'll just sit there and watch, type down on his computer and look up and watch. We have been noticing that for 2 days. So we go to the laundromat and that white truck comes. Well, my fiance at the time, he's like, that's either a private investigator or like somebody with the law. So he's like, they're very obvious. Like, they drive those big trucks and they have a certain look and demeanor to them. So I'm watching him and he's just watching us. We're washing laundry. He's sitting outside the laundromat. We walk into this pizza place intentionally. He walks in like 5 minutes later. We moved within 24 hours. When I tell you we were out of there within 24 hours, we were out of there within 24 hours. That's how we ended up leaving Arlington and moved to Houston. Now I'm starting to see, like, you know, behavioral issues. And my oldest son is like beating up the other kids, and I had to take Titan to the hospital on multiple occasions. And I'm sitting down and I'm talking to him and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, why are you hitting your siblings? Like, these are your siblings. And he's like, well, because I was being bullied at my dad's house, so now it's my turn to be a bully. That's exactly what he told me. I explained to him that we don't do that here. There's no bullying. Like, we love here. Like, you guys can argue, you guys are brother and sister, but you're their big brother. Like, you're the oldest one. Like, you're supposed to protect them. So I'm explaining that to him. So I'm thinking everything is good. I end up getting served with court paperwork because I answered my front door. I was on FaceTime with this boy named Mon. This is after me and my fiance at the time done broke up. I ended up finding out that he liked men. I already put that story time up. Y'all, I really been through a lot, okay? But we're not gonna focus this on that. So I'm on FaceTime with this boy named Mon. Not dating or anything. Like, he's really a cool friend. Like, I have him on TikTok. I'm gonna tag him in this video. So I'm on FaceTime with him, and there's like a hard knock on the door, as if it is the police. But like I said, y'all, I'm not from the street, so I don't really know what to listen to. He's like, don't answer that door, Jazz. Don't answer that door. I'm like, I'm gonna answer the door? Like, so once I answer the door, I get served with court paperwork. It hasn't been the 6 months yet, so I wasn't able to file first. He did. So they served me with the court paperwork, and then after that, CPS starts showing up to my door back to back to back because they got confirmation that they were able to serve me. So now he knows my address. So now he needs to keep sending CPS to my house in order to build his case. The kids keep showing up with like marks or bruises. So I bought security cameras for inside the house because I was working from home. So no, I was not always able to keep my eyes on them 24/7. I don't know any parent that keeps their eyes on their children 24/7, even if they're not working from home. So I bought cameras so I can at least do my best. He kept breaking the cameras. He kept breaking the cameras, kept breaking the laptop that controls the cameras. My poor baby. I don't know. I started looking into therapy and everything. Like, I don't know.
Wow. So definitely, guys, there's a part 3, and I promise you guys that's the last part of it, the part 3. But I want to know what you think about the entire story so far. From watching the part 1 to this part 2, what are your thoughts? What are the things you're picking up from everything? Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts, but please keep it respectful. As always, here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So feel free to share your opinion. So I really want to know what you guys think. Like, go ahead and share your own thought. But for me, I find this very, very interesting. And one thing I picked out of this whole thing is that, and I keep saying it, it's at the end of the day when this whole foolishness is going on between adults, the people that suffers the most, the people that my heart goes out to the most are the kids, because the kids are the ones that are going to be at the receiving end of all the madness that is going on for adults that decided to make the decision that they make to bring them into this world. And another thing I want to say about situations like this is that most of the time these kids are being used as pawn in this whole crossfire that is going on between both parents and family. And for me, it really breaks my heart to know. And that's why I always talk about how this ends up being like a ripple effect on a lot of things, and even how society and even how we are as people, because this is hurt people, and hurt people bringing more people to be hurt, and then so we just keep going in the same loop over and over again. But yeah, I also, no shade to this creator, guys, no shade. This story, I'm sharing this story just for us to have conversation, and so that other people can learn, people in similar situation can do better, so that generally as us as women we can do better, learn lesson, build a community. That's why this is shared. I understand that, okay, her two kids was, she got her two kids out from very young age, obviously because somebody wasn't there for them, one parent wasn't there for them. But clearly in the part 1, she was talking about how her stepfather was telling her that he's going to start hitting you and all that. And I saw some people pointing that out in the comment section on the part 1. But one thing I also want to point out is that yes, the stepfather warned her, but yes, she still wants to go. And some people are going on to talk about how some kids just want to be grown and they learned the hard way. I get it, there are some kids that just like coconut head, they just want to be grown, they just want to be out there, they just want to be out in the world and all that, and don't want to be talked to and all that. But we ask ourselves why some kids wants to be like that. Usually it's because they are running away from trauma. I remember after I finished, I know, yes, somebody would say, oh, boy, you're already grown then. When I finished the university, normally in Nigeria, you finish university, you, as a girl, as a young girl, you go back to your parents' house and stay. For the longest time, because the relationship with me and my mom was not that good at that time, we were not able to unpack a lot of our trauma. Me, I didn't understand why I had so much anger, so much frustration towards her, and she same way towards me. I didn't want to stay at home. I was looking for everywhere and anywhere just to go. Anybody that is ready to accept me, to allow me to come and visit, I'm going. But thankfully, I had good people around me, good people that I could call, good friends I could go to their house to stay. Sisters I could stay in their house, aunties I could stay in their house. Sometimes I come back home, but the house was not home for me. It was always brings negative energy towards me at that time, and I was looking for where to run to. So I understand that place of, yeah, sometimes you want to be grown, you go out there and you find out how what it is, and some people are saying that's why, but I don't really think so. Usually if the house is not okay for a child, the child look outside for comfort, look for external body, for family and all that. So yeah, let's go check out part 3, which is going to come up later on in the evening, so you don't want to miss it out, and that's one reason you should subscribe. Okay, go on and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have amazing conversation. So go on and share this video and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl, yeah? With that all said, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces!